The button's
This is
hit.
about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Woo! I like it when Phil drops by. Hey,
Philly.
What? Hey, we've got phenomenal podcast. I say it every week, but I feel like we do put effort up there, and we do try to make it the most entertaining we possibly can. This week we got some really, really good topics, and we've also got a phenomenal panel. So obviously, guys, if you're here, thank you for checking out Real Deal Xbox Podcast. We do appreciate you. Hit the like button, share it out, help us out a little bit. I'm sure most of you are playing Halo right now, just like we have. We got some Halo Infinite gameplay in the podcast today. So let us know your thoughts on how awesome this game is, how much fun you've been having as we get into some of the topic shout outs, obviously introductions. D-Batch, how you been?
I'm good, man. I'm so exhausted. Yesterday was like an old school launch for me, man. I got up early in the morning hunting for that Halo Series X Xbox, and man, the news that came out from yesterday, it was just like a big adrenaline dump, man. So I'm ready to talk about some stuff. I'm hyped. I got a lot of things to say today, so let's get on with the show, man. It's going to be a great show.
Ooh-wee. Hey, we've also got Grounded Gamer. I'm just kidding. You know what, Fonz? It still sticks in my head, man. Not the Grounded Gamer, Fonzarelli Gaming. And I was multitasking. How you been, brother?
That's right.
He said, that's right. Fonz, thanks for joining us, brother.
Yeah. I'm here. You know, I got a demotion at work. I found out I have to have surgery at the beginning of the year. But you know what? I'm all smiles. I'm positive because there's a lot of things to be happy about, especially here in gaming. I can't wait for the topics. Yeah.
Thanks for being a good sport, brother. And, of course, we've got xCloud Tim Dog. How have you been, sir?
Doing good. Really good day yesterday. It was fun and a lot of stuff to talk about from yesterday and the week prior. It's been a crazy 2 weeks for Xbox. And I don't think that anybody could have predicted the way it went down in the last couple of weeks with Forza and everything. But it's good. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about all that stuff. It's going to be a good show.
Yes. And then we've also got Zauker87. Another week, another RDX.
Oh man, I'm glad to be here. You know, every time I finish work, I'm kind of tired, and then I'm like, oh, I got RDX, baby. It just rejuvenates me. I'm ready to go, especially after a week like this, man, where Xbox is popping off. Actually, you know what? For the last month, Xbox has just been dropping shit. So man, it's a good time to be a gamer. So,
I think they just wait for Sony fans to peek their heads up from behind the sandbags and smack the shit out of them. Hey, K-Mega, thanks for joining, brother. I wanted to get to you last but not least because you're the guest today. And obviously, we go way back. You do GRG podcast every single Friday on your channel or on the GRG channel. So, I mean, of course, thanks for joining us. And how you been?
Man, I've been good. Thank you for the invite, man. It was really an honor, man. I don't know what you was eating, or maybe you partake into the herbage, but I do appreciate you calling me fantastic, man. That was you really in a good mood. Huh?
The herbage.
But I mean, herbage. I don't know, but man, thanks so much, man. And it's always good talking to D-Batch, going back to the multiplayer days, you know, Fonz from GRG. And Tim Dog from BGST, and then Zonka, you know,
from the trash. Yep.
Oh man. So anyway, but it's good. And then Dealer, of course, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing, what y'all guys are doing, man, is big things. And I really do appreciate the invite, man.
Hashtag herbage.
It's always an honor.
Did the Grounded Gamer just call me trash? You're from the ground, bitch. I don't want to hear it.
It's your baby carrier.
All right. Y'all bitches, calm down. We got plenty of rage to take out on the Game Awards today. We got some really good topics, okay? And chat, please let us know your thoughts. Of course, again, hit the like button, share it out. We do appreciate it. As we get into the Game Awards, and now they basically stabbed Xbox in the face and then the back and broke their neck like Steven Seagal with their betrayal of Canadian Dracula, Jeff Keighley. What is happening here? Why isn't Forza Horizon 5 nominated for Game of the Year? It's such a big, here's the thing. Even Metacritic is coming out and being like, what the fuck? Their exact quote was, the cutoff date is November 19th, not the exact quote, but you know what I'm saying. November 19th. Anything that comes out before that can be nominated. And according to our scores, our charts, it's a 91 meta. This should easily be nominated, but the Game Awards said, nah. What is the deal here? Why is this happening, Fonz?
So I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago to you guys. We were talking in a party chat, and I said, I heard that they already voted. Everything was already voted for early November, like November 4th or something like that. They already voted for the winner and stuff. So, I mean, it was before it came out. And yes, you can go back and change your votes and stuff, but realistically, who's going to do that? And that's the problem. I think the whole problem with the gaming awards is the fact that they don't, all encompass every game that comes out by December 31st every year. Like that's what should happen. They should have the gaming awards in like January or February. Like forget this nonsense about, yes, we're celebrating the games of, all year long, but we're not going to take a game that comes out on the 20th.
You can't have like a 2021 game of the year and not talk about every game that launched in 2021.
Yeah, it's sad. It's like every other award ceremony does this. Like they have their awards in January or February so they can get every movie in or every song in.
And that means games like Halo are out. And they're out of the running entirely. And they might say, well, we'll stick them in next year. But those games never come back and win.
No,
never.
Jedi Fallen Order is one of those games that didn't come back at all, and it was like that should have been Game of the Year
or one
back
of them.
then. And
don't forget about Tomb Raider either.
Yeah, and same with Tomb Raider. But the other thing is, like, Forza is actually it's at a 92 on Xbox, 92% on Meta. Like that's the other thing. Like this is literally the highest rated game of the year. Like,
and it's not even in the conversations.
It's not even in the conversation. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I all the games up there for me, the ones that should win is probably It Takes Two from what's nominated because that game's amazing.
Psychonauts.
And I like Psychonauts also, but It Takes Two was like a completely unique experience. But as for overall, like, I don't get how two games are not on there. And I said this on Twitter. One, Forza Horizon 5, and the other one is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. How are those two games not even nominated? Like, what the?
Returnal wasn't even nominated. You had Ratchet and Clank. Like, come on.
Yeah. I remember talking about this in parties. Ratchet's definitely going to be in there. I expect Ratchet to be in there, but I expect the best game of the year to be in there too if it's going to be a game of the year competition, and that would be Forza Horizon 5. I'm
just saying, though, if you talk to a lot of guys, Sony guys, they would have rather had Returnal over Ratchet and Clank in there. So it's just weird. Like, it's
I don't think it's a better game, but regardless, first of all, if this was like a Kojima game that just came out like a week ago or a week and a half ago, it got 91, 92 Metacritic. Just ask yourself this question. Do you think that it would be in the category for Game of the Year? Now, your answer should really answer this whole thing. It's just a bias. Like, there's no excuse for Halo. I can understand because it's taking place after the show. So I can give them a pass on that. It's unfortunate because it's coming out in late 2021. It's not going to be relevant in late 2022, so it's definitely not going to win. There's going to be other games that are going to be fresher in gamers' mind at that point. But for Forza Horizon to miss it, I'm not even saying it has to win it or even if it deserves to win it. That's up to gamers and whoever votes on this. But it definitely deserves to be nominated for Game of the Year, and it just shows me that this show is not a credible show. It's like a pay to win show, in my opinion.
Did you see what Jez said, K Mega?
Yeah, I did.
What did Jez Corden of Windows Central say about the Game Awards today?
He said it was full of bullshit.
He said fake. He said this is fake bullshit.
Yep. Yeah. So I totally agree 100%. Look, I try to, and I do this with everybody. I try not to have this type of bias towards people because of what their action. What they say. Because sometimes people, they tend to might just want to lean one way or another. But I mean, this is just blatantly obvious. Like, there's just no reason why Forza, when it hits all the check marks from, it's a phenomenon. On top of the fact that it's the highest rated game in 2021, and the fact that it's selling really well because of just how many, you see the counts of how many people are playing the game. So if you're going to go and that's another thing too, which bothers me, is the inconsistency. Because if you go back some years, you look Overwatch 1 Game of the Year over over
Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4, right. And so people kept asking, how is that even possible? And the reasons were the same reasons why Forza should be in included. All the same reasons, because it was the hype thing, it had high ratings, it was the it thing. And I get at this point in time now where, after what EA said, and then, what people came after Phil Spencer, what he was talking about the single player situation, the awards just changed to be a single player driven AAA extravaganza for the game of the year.
Yeah.
And now it seems like games like Forza and others are being punished in a year where there's so many unique games available at our disposal this year that it was just no brainer to see a racer, a niche genre.
It's so niche.
Get up there and just kick ass. And I don't think anybody would have been upset if it didn't win, but just for it to be nominated is just showing how great gaming has been this year. Because there's so many titles, there's so much variety. Because I think, like what Zonka was talking about, I think for me, Scarlet Nexus should be up there. Tales of Arise should be up there. I love the hell out of Far Cry 6. But again, we knew that there was going to be snubs. But I'm just looking at this list, and to me, I think it's just a two-man race, and that's between Resident Evil 8 or Metroid Dread. I would love for Psychonauts 2 to win it, but I just don't see them overcoming that. And I think that's perfect. That's them doing it on purpose to place these games the way that they do, so certain games are just no-brainers to just go ahead.
These Game Awards are becoming entirely too predictable. There were mumblings of this actually happening, and it's pretty bad when people can call this out. And you said it yourself; it meets every single criteria to be nominated for Game of the Year. Though Xbox did get like 20 nominations, why not something as common sense as this? That's my question. Chat, let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you because a lot of you guys are really annoyed by this as well. I think Playground should be rewarded and commended for what they've done, the quality on display here, and obviously the game has hit about 10 million players in a single week, right, Tim Dog?
Well, it's almost it's at 9 million right now, and it's probably going to reach probably going to reach 10 million by like Thursday, which would give it
despite Halo, right?
Yeah, despite Halo.
That's not.
I mean, listen, it's definitely a snub, but I wouldn't. I think you said it best that they should be celebrated, Playground, but it's a snub, and sometimes this happens, and I think that there is a problem in his nomination system, or the Game Awards nomination system. And I think that's really it falling on the date that it fell on kind of is the reason why it's in the situation it is. I don't think that there's anything personal here.
Well, look, Ashtray says if Forza was a PlayStation game, it would have been on the Game of the Year list. And I'm trying to imagine a world where Gran Turismo comes out and it's a 91, not a 75 like the last one, but a 91, 92, and it's not on this damn list. It's really hard to imagine.
TT would be on that list.
I wouldn't really push the whole PlayStation thing because, again, a lot of PlayStation guys are upset that Returnal wasn't nominated.
Yeah,
but imagine Gran Turismo 7 coming out and not on the list. Watch Gran Turismo 7 get nominated next year, even though it won't be a 92.
Oh, yeah, but even how much did Returnal score though?
88, 86. 87.
Almost as many scores as these achievements in this game right now.
So 86, 87, like I'm sure there's a following to that game, but that's not Game of the Year category, to be honest with you.
Is it nominated for any category?
Probably best racer, but the whole point of this,
it might lose to soccer cars again. Be careful.
Well, there's no honestly, this is that people are gonna think we're sounding salty, but at the end of the day, like,
because I am, bitch.
No, but like 20 nominations from Xbox Bethesda, like that's the thing I posted. Like, it's like, dude, do you not understand like how dominant Xbox was this year? And there's other games out there, like like a lot of people were mad that Hitman 3 wasn't nominated because that was apparently very well done and it came out in January of this year. So there's a lot of games out there where you're sitting there going like, I don't know, like Ratchet and Clank, I beat it. I enjoyed it. But is it Game of the Year? No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not even close. Returnal, I can see why, because of the genre. People started liking it. Hades was coming out, blah, blah, blah. And I can kind of see that, but I didn't like Returnal all that much. Either way, yeah, Forza should be there. Forza should be one of the top games because it is rated the top game of the year. That's so stupid about this whole thing is like maybe you need to revamp what you're doing. Look at all the reviews, look at all the Metacritic, look at everything, bring it together. It doesn't matter if it's story driven. It doesn't matter if your dog died in the story and now you're whatever the hell. Like, it doesn't need that. Like, if it's a good game and it's a game, which is gameplay first, if it runs well, then that should be the nominations.
Well, why all the why all the gatekeeping though, Zalker? Why are so few games getting these nominations? And there's no consistency. The best rated game of the year just didn't get nominated at all, and some others that are in the mid 80s did. And this is fresh on the mind. It just came out, right? I don't understand. There's like a weird requirement.
They want attention. Like Jeff Keighley really put out, "What's your biggest snub?" Like he literally put out a tweet. Like he literally put out, "What's your biggest snub?" So it's attention seeking, right? If you're talking, any press is good press, right? That's the saying. If somebody's talking about you, that's good. Look, I'm sure tell it to R. Kelly. No, but I'm just saying, like everybody, right? Like, but like I'm just like that's what they want. They want people talking. They want people to talk, and then they're like, well, there's also the fan voting. You could do that, later when we, a couple weeks from now. But to me, it's just about them talking and getting people to talk, and then kind of using like the console stuff, right? Like no matter what, if Deathloop wins, that's an Xbox made game. I get it's a PlayStation exclusive, but it's an Xbox studio. Like that's like it's just weird, man. I don't know. I don't like it. I'm gonna watch. To me, the Game Awards show isn't about what wins. It's about the announcements. Because so far, there's been some big announcements there, right? Like we've had the Series X, we've had Perfect Dark. Like that's what it's become. It's become kind of like an offshoot E3, and the awards show is just bullshit at the end of the day. People want to know what the hell's going on, what games are being announced, what gameplay is going to be shown, and what's coming. Because that's what everybody tunes in for. Is those things.
I mean, if I was Microsoft, I don't. I know a lot of people watch Game Awards for some reason. We're not there for fucking the bands and the orchestras, the shit that Jeff keeps putting on there, but I don't know. I'm gonna read a few of these super chats. I haven't gotten to any of them yet. Flapjack Juice says Horizon 5 has taken the crown from Forza Motorsport 100. It was already the crown if you're into the more arcadey open world stuff. It's great. It's fun. OG Gamer says that's a crock because it's been nominated for Sports Game of the Year. The Game Awards has been bought and paid for. And then we also got Dark CMF. He says, gonna catch this one tomorrow at a hockey game. Let's go. Let's go, Stars. Let's go, RDX. Hit the like button. Do appreciate it, brother. Yeah, we got about 1,000 watching now, guys. If you haven't, consider the like button and let us know your thoughts in the chat. Sir X-Man says, that's why I'm gonna watch the G4 Game Awards show because Jeff Keighley's. So he's talking about G4 TV. They came back on YouTube. I don't know if you guys know. But he says Jeff Keighley show is garbage and totally unfair to the games out there. Yeah, I mean it's one of those things, man, where we're all scratching our head just like you are, Sir X, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's not his show's not the end all be all though. There's going to be other awards that are given out, and I'm sure that Forza is going to get the credit where it's due. I guess his shows kind of become like the Oscars of the game shows, I guess.
Yeah.
And so to a degree, I guess the clout matters, but overall, it's really just one small segment of the gaming community or the gaming journalists or whatever you want to call it. He's only a small blip in it, although he has a big show. So IGN will give out awards, GameSpot, these other sites, these other columns, they'll give Forza the credit that it's due. It's just unfortunate that such a mainstream show, doesn't see this. And they could correct their errors still. There's still time to nominate it, seeing how the game is coming out before their deadline. But for whatever reason, they're choosing not to. They've already chosen what games they want to win.
Early in November. So the 8 nominees are Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Resident Evil Village, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Psychonauts 2. So those are
another thing. I just want to make this point too. The one thing that I thought was weird, because you just mentioned it, Dealer, was about Metacritic coming out and making an announcement. I've never seen them do a public announcement like that before.
I saw your post about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and what was really crazy was that they gave the deadline, which was the 19th, which to me the biggest shameful thing for me when I was really actually just done of just caring about the awards myself was Jedi Fallen Order. That game should have been nominated. Yeah. That was a fantastic game, and it was within the thresholds. But if you remember, they they went all the way back and got Smash Brothers to be nominated for some categories, which was not in that area. So again, it's for me, the inconsistency is what bothers me. It's like, look, I just rather you just come out and say, look, this is just how we do things, and there's nothing to it. Don't try to sugarcoat it or anything like that. This right here is just completely biased to a certain genre of game. Period.
We got to keep it in perspective too. This is 100 different journalists and influencers that decide on these nominees.
Time for some new ones. Time for some fresh blood that actually plays.
It's not Jeff Keighley. So I just want to put that out there because a lot of people will throw it and say, "Well, it's Jeff Keighley."
You think Jeff Keighley's grabbing their little ballots and scratching their answer out and like,
Jeff's not involved in this.
I know.
Are you sure about what's going on? What on Death Stranding? Because Death Stranding was.
When you have a certain pool of games, you can kind of. I'm not saying that it's per se like rigged 100%, but when you have a certain pool of games, you kind of know which way it's gonna go, right? And I don't know. Personally, for me, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not gonna put it on the show or the panels. Personally, I watched the show for the game premieres and what's not the awards. They've never meant after Rocket League beat Forza, I was like, this show's like I'm not judging it for awards.
Here's why I say people need to stop with the whole PlayStation thing and this is rigged. Is because there's only one PlayStation game nominated. Okay, one, and it's not going to win for sure. It's not going to win. So you have two Xbox games there.
Ratchet and Clank is going to win.
I'll be honest.
Hang on, Soccer's going to be honest.
I'll be ready for the slaughter of the internet because it will be a bloodbath.
It's going to win it.
I think it's kind of funny that like this has turned into almost like an Xbox show, right? Like the Game Awards has. Like I feel like Jeff is very Sony centric. He likes Sony a lot, but they don't announce anything at the Game Awards. Last year, I don't think they announced anything. The year before that, I don't think they announced anything. While Xbox for the past 2 years has kind of taken it over. And like, if you remember when they announced the Series X, like it wasn't like Jeff was hyped. He was like, "Okay, we got a lot more things to go." Like it was super mono. Like I was like, "What the hell?"
It's like, all right, on to Neverbound or whatever that game was called with that kid with the cat ears. Yeah, and then the Guardian, stupid. Yeah, that's such a dumb game. But anyways, people like that's the funny thing is that Xbox doesn't give a shit. Like they're like, "Yo, we're gonna use your platform and we're gonna announce stuff on there." And we're going to get a lot of hype around our stuff. And they are going to come to the Game Awards with something because at this point, I really do see Xbox trying to dominate the holiday season and then moving into next year. Because for the last few months, they've absolutely dominated it. And they're going to continue it with the Halo multiplayer, which just came yesterday. It's going to go into November. And then the campaign's going to drop. And then right after the campaign drops, they're going to announce more stuff at the Game Awards. That's the whole point. Like that's what Sony's not doing. That's why I watch the Game Awards is for the announcements, and because Xbox has kind of made it their own show. Like I don't care about the Game Awards and who wins, man. Like
yeah.
It's not like any of us care. It's I guess the principle of the matter is why it's being discussed.
Yeah,
the principle.
Yeah, if you look at a high-rated game, I understand it because I talked about this on my show as well. It's like you got a really highly rated game. Period. It's a video game. It doesn't matter what genre. It is a video game. It's very highly rated and it's being played like crazy. Like 9 million players. Enough said.
The professor says, to be honest, the snub on Horizon 5 ranks a lot like how the Oscars were previously handed out. It just discredits the show. And I would agree. I'm not really taking Jeff Keighley and his system, which I would imagine, or I'd like to think that his show, the system around which games are nominated and voted on, has a lot to do with what he has set up, correct? So I don't think his system is that well done, and I feel like most people know that for a fact. The Dutch Rudder, shout out to him, he says, no game of the year. Those who said no have skinny chodes. Okay. I read it exactly as he said. Don Otaku, real quick, he says, Fonz Returnal has a ton of problems at launch. I don't think Fonz was a big problem or a big fan of Returnal, but he says it has a lot of problems at launch, and that's enough reason why it shouldn't be nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, he's talking about all the people that are complaining that it got snubbed. He's just saying that it had a lot of issues and shouldn't be nominated. And I'm not against him on that. It's just that I've seen a lot of PlayStation guys upset about Ratchet and Clank instead of Returnal. Like they believe both should be up there. You know them, but
hey,
like
shout out to
people-
Predator real quick. Predator H2O, he's been around forever, man. It's good to see him in the chat. He says even Metacritic was like, what the fuck? PUBG got nominated and it was a broken mess in preview. I do remember that. He says Forza's nomination in other categories, but not Game of the Year, was a snub, bar none.
it is. It's a snub.
Or no.
Definitely a snub.
Let's not forget. I'm sorry, Tim. Let me just make this point. Also, it's just the Death's Door, another game that was highly
Yeah.
rated.
Yep.
That's another game that I felt like got snubbed.
Yeah.
So it's just so many, man. So many.
We kind of knew that was going to happen to Death's Door. I said it as well. It's probably going to be nominated for Indie Game of the Year, and it'll probably win that category. But for me, I still say that the love surrounding It Takes Two, that's going to take it this year.
It Takes
really
Two
will.
is really good, and that leads back to my point of the gatekeeping for Game of the Year nominations is just weird. Like we can only have 3 or 5. It's like, no, you can have 10. And they can vote using your same stupid system, you know. But Tim, what were you going to say?
No, I mean I disagree. It's obviously it's a snub, and you know it sucks that really probably one of the best on one of the I guess at this time the most technically achieved game going is not going to get recognized. I do think that stinks. As far as what Fonz was saying, that is true about Returnal. A lot of people had heard that or it was rumored. Jeff even Grubb, I think, commented that Returnal was going to win Game of the Year. That a lot of journalists were really high on Returnal, and I think that a lot of people thought, or at least a lot of Sony guys thought, and even myself, I said, oh, if you're going to see that, that's going to be a kind of a one to look at. So Returnal being not there was, in my opinion, a little bit of a surprise. But again, this is something, like you said, that they could tweak and fix and master. I honestly am of the belief that there is nothing nefarious here. This is just the date that it came out is where it got killed.
I agree.
It just fell on the wrong spot, and they have to fix their system because
Yep.
If that's going to happen again, you don't want something like this to happen. I think if they could have had it their way, probably they would have probably wanted Forza in there. But as you know, and there was controversy before it, people were saying that they had already voted, and nobody's going to go back and change their vote. That's just too much work. They're done with it. So I just, like I said, I think it was a victim of circumstances. Definitely a snub. But when you're hitting 10 million players in whatever it is, a week and a half, I don't think that it's the worst thing ever. I think that you're very accomplished, and you took a huge step forward in growing your game, and like I said, 10 million in 14 days, which is looking like it's going to happen, it's
You're
crazy.
right, Tim, but it's also a good thing to commend these developers for a great job,
Right.
for putting in that work and stuff. So yes, it's a snub. Yes, I agree with you, Tim. It has everything to do with the date, and that's why I started this conversation off with saying that they need to make changes there. They need to start doing this in January or February and include every game up until December 31st.
Yeah, it's not game of the year 2021 and a half or whatever, half of 2021.
Right. Because think of this. There's supposed to be a big title that's supposed to be dropping on 11/11 next year. So are you going to say is that game is going to get stubbed?
I guarantee you that game is not going to get that game is going to get nominated, and that leads back to the double standard and the weird exceptions and the lack of consistency in their ruling, right? So, chat, let us know what you think about Forza getting fucked out of a nominee. And obviously,
what they say next year. Well, it's up to November 10th. It's like, motherfucker.
Hey, Robert Gross in the super chat says, vote with our wallets. Don't watch the awards. Boycott it. I probably won't watch it, depending on if I know what the Xbox stuff is the day before. But I try not to sit through all the weird stuff that Jeff lines up with the orchestras and the the circus clowns and stuff.
Yeah. But I enjoy the game announcements and stuff. That stuff is cool.
Yeah. Lord Starkiller, by the way, every single chat, every show he's here, man. Shout out to him. He says Forza Horizon 5 is the driving/racing game of the year and overall game of the year. Thumbs up. Technically speaking, you are correct, sir. And then we got Hargeet. Shout out to Hargeet, one of our favorites. He says, mention this on Fonza's show. I can see now how Starfield will come out after the actual cutoff. Jeff needs to fix the system. Halo may be the real game of the year. Comes out way after the cutoff. And that's another point. Again, Halo, like I said, will not be considered for this. It's just out. And, that could cost companies millions of dollars because they don't get those extra sales. They don't get that badge, like it or not. That could affect some things. But at the same time, I guess it just diminishes credibility. So I caught up on the super chat. Shout out to you guys. Over 1,100 already watched this, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't. Tell a friend as we do move forward with the topics. Big shout out to everybody joining us as Jeff Keighley and his system aren't the best
really
for
quickly,
game nomination.
I just want to say that it's you got to look at it from a standpoint of if you look at this situation, they do have 2 Xbox games nominated. Yes, they're not exclusive, but look at how far Xbox is coming along, man. Like, seriously.
Well, yeah, you release games, this kind of stuff happens, right?
Forza is phenomenal. Xbox, Halo right here, the multiplayer is phenomenal. Xbox is on a good path to greatness.
To greatness. Speaking of Halo multiplayer, they did drop it on the 15th. I tweeted out about it, but I removed it because I wasn't sure if they were going to get annoyed with kind of helping spread that leak or whatever. But basically, this is the multiplayer, and it's a blast. It's polished. It feels much more like a finished full product than a beta, right? But technically, they're calling this a beta. Like, they needed another flighting apparently, and that's why they dropped it early, or one of the reasons it could be.
Yeah, and that's cool because if there's any kind of problems, they could chalk it up to being a beta and also just fix it. That's what they're doing now is just fixing stuff on the fly, get it all done and ready by the 8th. It already feels great to me.
And to ease the load, like there's no day one smash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
That is very true. It's very smart. That's you said it absolutely correct, dealer. That's exactly what this is. This is one of those things where they're just trying to cross the T's, dot the I's, make sure that everything is officially ready. And because there's other things that I've been noticing now, since I know we'll be talking about Battlefield a little bit later, and also with Forza, is that they drop these games and there seems to be some things missing or some things that that need some work. And and then they're going to give these big, huge patches on the day of release. But this game is so polished. I mean, when I seen that HDR hit, man, I'm still kind of behind. I got that Samsung Q90R, you know what I'm saying, but it's still flex. And so, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, oh my God. So I just love it. And just what I've always stood up for 343, you know what I'm saying? So to see them kind of get this last laugh, and I understand that the campaign is going to be coming and that's going to be a different segment to it. But for right now, for everything that people have been giving 343 hell for, they have now shut those critics up, and everybody is now playing Halo or Forza at this particular time. It's really bananas. It's awesome.
I'm actually looking at the concurrent players right now on Halo Infinite on Steam because as they track that stuff, it has 235,000 players. The peak was 272,000,
which is a lot more than previous, right?
Yep, which is a lot more. I think 161,000 was for the Halo MCC. That was the next game Xbox Game Studios game. That game
hit 10 million on PC, right? Like it hit 10 million players on PC.
Yeah, and the Halo Infinite's absolutely dominating. You know what the funny thing is? You know what number 18 is? Fucking Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Still, it has 40,000 people playing it right now,
and that's why they re-released the shit.
Yep.
This is only the Steam numbers too. You're not adding in like the Game Pass numbers. This is just phenomenal. Just to see it do that good on Steam. It's something to behold, man. I knew that Halo the multiplayer would be a smash on PC, and it's proven that, man. My kid can't wait to play it when he comes home. So I know we're gonna talk about the 20-year event, but I'm still so exhausted from yesterday. Yesterday, for me, honestly, it truly felt like the Xbox 360 launch, which I was also there for. Watching the nostalgic video that they did on their live stream yesterday, like getting up early in the morning, lining up to get a Halo Series X console, coming home and finding out Halo Infinite is launching the same day, and then on top of that, getting a Master Chief teaser for the new show that's coming out. Like, it was.
Come on,
just
D. We knew the multiplayer was launching. we already knew that.
There were some hints, but we weren't 100% sure because
we were
we're
100%.
well, okay. Whatever.
Well, D isn't in Xbox parties with us as much as we would like. Okay.
Okay, whatever. But still, it was great for all the Xbox fans out there. For the ones that didn't know, right? It was. It's awesome. Fantastic, man. But yeah, just yesterday was just a fantastic day for me personally. I got so much Xbox gear and just that feeling. And honest to tell you, I haven't seen this type of excitement and engagement for Xbox. And some people are going to say it's corny, but I'm going to say from the 360 days. Like yesterday, the engagement, everybody being so excited for Xbox, it was crazy. It was just crazy. And they were dropping consoles in Canada because I monitor all the drops through North America. Microsoft has been dropping consoles pretty much from like last week Thursday all the way up till now. They're still dropping consoles all over this country and in the States as well. They've just been dropping a lot of consoles, so many consoles that Sony last night dropped actually 8,000 consoles in Ontario. Well, I think Canada actually. They dropped about 8,000 consoles in Canada, and I think these were like saved for Black Friday or something. They saw so many Xboxes just being sold that they decided to move up their release. I don't know if they decided to move up the release, but they did drop a lot of consoles.
I heard you snapping your little fingers in the background.
But anyways, all I'm saying is that it's a great time to be an Xbox fan. If someone out there feels the exact same way that I'm feeling right now, then you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's just a great time. It's that good hype, bro. It's that good shit. This is why I say Metacritic's not the end all be all, but you want good hype. And this is why, right? This is exactly why. You love the aura.
There's a lot of great hype.
There's a lot of guys right now playing this multiplayer. They're chilling. Like, they'll catch a show on the rerun. Shout out to these guys. But they are experiencing this. And Microsoft are dropping games. This is what happens when you drop games. And this is why we wanted the delay. If this thing came out a year ago, you can only imagine. And it is in the position it's in right now, leveraging all of this hype because it is a quality product. If it were not, then it wouldn't be there. It would be negative stuff we're hearing.
You know what the best hype is? The fact that you're being able to play, two great, phenomenal games right now. You're being able to play Halo and Forza right now. And, there's a lot of hype behind both these games. This holiday is, Xbox is stacked.
They nailed it. One thing to piggyback off of what you said, I think it was really ballsy of them to release the multiplayer kind of in the window of Forza.
Yeah.
Especially with Forza's success. But then I thought about it and I'm like, it's probably smart to do that because now you're generating all this hype. There is no like drop off. And you're gonna all roll into the launch with which I think a campaign. I think most people want the campaign or most interested in that.
Yeah.
You parlayed your cards. You played your cards right here. For the first time, I really can remember Xbox doing a shadow drop, which is something I thought I'd never see ever again. They seem to get it, and I think it's an accumulation now of it just showing. But for the first time, I think in their existence, that they are comfortable with where they're at. They know where they're at, and they have the backing. I mean, the production in that video that they did with the whole Xbox 20.
The documentary about the Xbox.
What the hell? Don't talk to me about marketing anymore, because marketing, in my opinion, was always amount of, what goods you have. But that
they've stepped
whole show, I mean, go watch it.
Yeah, man.
It is.
Are we talking about the show right now? Is that?
Are you talking about the 20-year event?
Yeah. I don't mean to think, but I'm just saying, just to make my point on how they're hitting things. But just that whole thing and the way everything is is rolling. It just seems like they finally got it. And as far as the Halo launch, that's just a ballsy move that just reminds me of like the good old days with 360 and yeah, they're just on all cylinders right now, and it's fun to watch, fun to talk about, but it's also like, you know, I just, it's nice to sit back and just kind of just see it all, you know, unravel after years of everyone on this panel remembers.
Well,
Xbox was in such a bad place, so for her to be here now,
2017. Oof.
yeah,
The
Well,
patience
the
has
one
paid
thing-
off. You know?
The one thing I saw, and I've always said this, is like we've been talking about this since last year, right? Phil Spencer for the last year and a half has always said, like, yeah, we have, you know, we don't have a lot of consoles coming out. Sorry, the shipping issues. But they've always said 2021, the holiday season, he's called it. Like he said, that's the true Battlefield. Like that's where we're gonna have to really show out. And I think Phil or Tim, you've talked about this. That whole $1 thing for Game Pass ended a lot for a lot of people
Yeah.
back in June or July. So since August, September, October, these last few months, Xbox had to really keep people engaged in Game Pass, keep people engaged in the ecosystem, and now look at what they're doing. Like, this is why they're just generating hype. This is all the hype we're talking about. It's because they knew they needed to knock this shit out of the park, and they really did. This whole holiday season, I have not touched my PS5 once since Ratchet and Clank, like at all. And I'm not even saying that just to be a dick. Like, I don't want to go back and play anything there.
You're
'cause I don't have
toxic.
to. Like, no, I'm just being like, let's be honest. Like, I'm always on
Who
my
was
Xbox,
that
I'm
that
always on
dusty ass
everything.
PS5? It looks like.
Dude, who had that?
Mega,
PS5
you know what I'm talking
holding
about? Like
holding
this
the door?
motherfucker had a picture or something of a PS5,
That
and
was
it was
so
like
nasty, boy. Yeah, he said a spider was going in. I said, "You nasty mother, man."
the spider was going in it.
Fucking exact same thing today with Zocker saying. I'm saying this is like really like the 360 days where I would, you know, play most of my multiplats, you know, my Microsoft exclusives on my 360, and I would only play like the exclusive Sony games on my PlayStation. And this generation, it's turning into the same. Like we got Game Pass, we got EA Access. Or EA Play, sorry. You got EA Play, where you can play Battlefield right now. And that's included in your Game Pass subscription. Like, Xbox is definitely the place to play games. Yeah, Sony's got their exclusives, and the console's good for their exclusives when they got it. But after that, like, it's mostly Xbox and PC for me, to be honest.
You get a free spider with every PS5.
And actually for the Halo, like I know we talked about like the launch and it's great. Can I just say that this is probably one of the best launches of servers I've seen any game do. Like Battlefield 2042, like when it launched, you could not get on anything. So for me, last night I played with a bunch of people, and I'm talking about people on PC, Xbox, everywhere, and we were in the same fire team. So cross-platform, no issues. I think the fire team crashed once. And then we just restarted it and got back into a game. Like I was sitting there and everybody was like, yo, this is actually really smooth. Like nothing, like we're not getting kicked. Nothing's happening. You can't not join. Like the servers, I remember like, we're going to be like truthful here. Gears 5 was a horrible.
You say we're going to be truthful here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man, Gears 5, man, that shit was bad.
Now, Gears 5 though is different. That was an update that they pushed, and the online was actually messing up even the single player after it released.
Right, yeah, the co-op was, the co-op.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, these tech tests that they did, the flighting, whatever they did, man, holy shit, did it go really well. And same with Forza. Forza had there were some disconnects, but again, it was very well done. I didn't have like a lot of problems at all. And I have to say, man, like for them to launch that and have this many people, like not only breaking records or Xbox Game Studio records on Steam, but can you imagine how many people are on Xbox and then on Game Pass playing this? Like
Fonz, wow. How many people do you think is on this game right now? They had 200-something thousand on Steam. I mean, on Xbox, you probably got at least 1 million, right? Already?
Yes, on Xbox as well. Oh man, yeah, at least double that
minimum.
Yeah, minimum. This game is freaking huge. Everybody on my freaking friends list is playing Halo multiplayer.
Yeah. When I watched the 20th anniversary later than anybody else, because I came for my doctor's appointments, and then I was looking and I seen Halo popped up there, and I'm like, oh, the rumors were true, and so I was like, okay. And so when I looked, it was 245 people at that point when I started watching in the middle of the day yesterday that was already playing
245 Halo. Or 245,000?
Well, no, 245 people on my friends
on your
list.
friends list.
Yeah, on my friends list, and that is crazy. I have never seen that many people play one particular game at one time on my friends list like that. Like even Forza was like 100, between 90 and 105, but this was like 200 plus, and I was just like, wait a minute. So I'm like, I'm going to watch this first, and then I'm going to go back and then re-download, because I already knew at that point when I seen people playing Halo. So it's just, Xbox has just been hitting all cylinders ever since last year at the VGAs. Once they did that, that was the changing of the guard. Well, I should say that was 2019. In
the
December
Series X
2019.
announced. Yeah, the Series X launch. Yeah.
Once they did that, and that's why I kept trying to tell people back then, like, Tim Dog, we've been through the ringer. I mean, well, all you guys on the panel. I mean, we've all been here for a minute. So yeah, we were going through the winter, and I kept saying, look, the one thing that you could always go back to is look at what Nintendo has done. Anybody, even I thought Nintendo was on their last leg after the Wii U.
Yeah.
But then when the Switch dropped, I said, this isn't real. No, it's too kiddie. It graphically, it doesn't do. And then look at what the Switch has done. And right there, once I seen when I said, look, Phil needs his time to get everything in order, get everything in place, and then give him time. If everybody can be so patient about what PlayStation does, why not Xbox gamers be the same with Xbox? And so, of course, it's a now time in this generation and all that. But now you see the fruits of the labor has now just come out. The console is awesome. Both consoles actually are awesome. And now they're just going to be coming with so many games. Like right now, there's just almost too much. Please don't give me anything else. I got a 4-game rotation. I don't need anything else right now. But of course, they're still going to have stuff going.
Give me more.
Right. Yeah. But it's going to be crazy, man.
Let me read a few of these. Look, that's a good point, Megan. There's a lot to play. It's finally that time, right? And we've been frustrated along the way here and there, talking about software. We want quality and expectations and realities of the situation. And the fact is, this Microsoft are finally starting to deliver on what we were talking about, and I think everybody is cause for celebration. Geek Eternal, by the way, he does say the Game Awards will always be in the holiday, December, because they want to use that to sell games during the holidays. Good point, sir. Sir X-Man says Microsoft made money on Forza Horizon 5 because he knows a lot of people that actually paid the $44 for the upgrade for all the DLC in the Game Pass, so they made money beyond just
$100.
Yeah, I mean, there were already 1 million people on it before it even came out, so that's the $100 early edition there. And then on top of the Game Pass stuff, and then keep in mind that they are gathering subscribers to Game Pass because of the game as well. They made money in more ways than I think a lot of people understand. We've also got Alvin, who does say, releasing the multiplayer of Halo Infinite early will build hype for the campaign. Halo campaign, #1 selling game on Steam yesterday. That is a really good point, Alvin. So because the multiplayer dropped, people are like, this shit is fire. And they went and pre-ordered the campaign.
Yeah, it was the #1 selling game yesterday. That's what I saw.
Wow.
I was looking for the numbers for the most played, and I was like, I wonder where it's at. And then I saw like the top paid game or whatever, top selling game on Steam was the Halo, and it said campaign next to it. So I was like, oh shit, that thing's popping off. Yeah, I got the. Do you want me to do the 2 more? I got a couple other ones here. The super chat. I'm gonna jump. All right, so we got Kiz. Panel's thoughts on the progression system for Halo. I would try that first. The battle pass needs revamping. They need to change that a little bit. Doing like daily tasks just to level up is I don't like that. Like that was a lot of people would play like 16 games. I think I played like 18 games yesterday, and I'm like level like 4 or 2 or some shit.
Is that how it works? I was wondering why it wasn't.
Yeah. So you're not leveling up because you need to do daily and weekly tasks. So I don't like how you have to like run over somebody with a mauler or whatever just to get like XP. Like that's
so it doesn't reward you for just really playing. You got to do
it doesn't
these
reward
challenges
you for popping off. Yeah, you have to do the challenges to level up. I don't think that's good. I think they need to revamp that.
Or at least add a layer of XP gain in addition to that. Something.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then we also have Scrub Nurse member for 7 months.
Shout out to Scrub Nurse.
Halo is killing these numbers for COD and Battlefield 2042. Great job by Phil and the team. Makes me feel young, staying up all night. Hit that like button.
Oh, shit. Last time I did a podcast with Scrub Nurse on Wimmy's channel, and he was getting a little crunk.
I like that.
Shout out to Scrubbers. Go ahead, Zucker.
But it did kill COD. Like, let's be honest. Like, that shit killed COD in battle. I was playing Battlefield 2042. I was having a good time, and then they dropped Halo, and I was like, oh well, uninstall this. Let's just like,
Call of Duty this year killed itself.
But yeah, I with Battlefield, yeah, I was over here playing Battlefield the same way, and I was just like, because it took me a while to get used to Battlefield, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm feeling it now, I'm getting it, and then they dropped that announcement, and I was like,
yeah,
bro, everybody of my friends that I was playing Battlefield with just stopped. Like, I'm telling you, I put a tweet out, like all of my Xbox friends list was on Halo, all of my Steam friends list was on Halo, and my Discord friends were all on Halo. Like, every single person was like, yo, let's go. And I was like, nobody was like, Battlefield? No, not one.
Like, EA should have pushed it back to next year like the developers at DICE wanted them to do. Go ahead, Sam.
Right.
Is there another one?
Yeah, we got Reluctant Dodo. Hello from the UK. Through Forza Horizon 5 and now into the Halo beta early launch. It's been a great time.
Facts?
Yep.
Facts.
Also got achievement for 2 months. Achievement, shout out to him. He does say 20 nominations, almost 2 times more than Sony. Xbox is going to clean up that shit show. Yes, I think they could try, no matter what he says.
Sony had no games anyways this year. What did they have?
That's another good point, D, is they didn't get nominated for much because they literally didn't really release anything, hardly. Right? So
yeah, I think next year they'll have 2 nominees. They'll have 2 nominees next
You want to get these
easily.
remaining fews there?
Yeah, I got you. So we got Carlos Alvarado. He says, can't complain. Age of Empires 4, Forza, and Halo. Xbox King 2021. I agree. Age of Empires, a lot of people are sleeping on that. That game is one of the best games this year.
Wait for the console version.
Yeah, you can do that. Hargeet Channy. Lots of folks don't even realize Halo multiplayer is out yet. I've been telling folks, and they start downloading. Xbox needs to get the message out somewhere. That's actually true. One of my best buddy actually texted me today, and I was like, "Yo, get Halo." He's like, I don't want to drop 60 right now, and it's not even out yet. I was like, "Bro, it's free and it's the multiplayer." And he's like, "What do you mean?" Like, he didn't.
Did you go to his house and smack the beard off his face?
I kind of wanted to. He can't grow a beard. He's tiny.
Looks like a mangy dog.
Yeah,
hey, Clyde Drexler's over here on Halo.
Yeah, he's got that little baby face going.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah. So we got Sir X-Men. Sorry, there's a lot, man. I don't want to get like too far behind. Sir X-Men. All the critics woke the behemoth that is Microsoft.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Lord Starkiller. It is really great that the Halo multiplayer beta has the option for xCloud. Nice. Also, time to reformat the Game Awards, include any game released between January 1st and December 31st. More overall nominees.
Facts.
And that's the last one, I think, for Super Chats. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. I think, well, there's another one here from Corey. Corey Chomp. Shout out to you, brother. He says, Double Fine never gets recognition. So, you know what Psychonauts do is a surprise. Even me, I'm like, Fonz pushed me to push it. He got like a long stick and he's poking me with it. Play Psychonauts.
Beat it.
And I randomly sit there and I'll play on Psychonauts. I'm like, this is a quality game. And the fact that it runs with a frame rate that makes every game more enjoyable, it just makes it that easier to jump in and out, man, with how quick these consoles launch. So you're right. You're right, Corey, man. Double Fine, they are talented. They just proved that. They said Microsoft helped them build more bosses and stuff into that game. He says, so small, but so great. What they accomplished. Wow. Psychonauts 2, game of the year by a country mile. I mean, hey, everyone's got their opinion. That's awesome because this is just the beginning. Next year is going to be nuts. It's going to be insane.
Yep.
You got Stalker 2. You got what is that fucking game Arcane's working on?
You got Redfall. And then you've got Starfield. And then you've got Forza Motorsport. And then you've got what else?
Starfield will be nominated for Game of the Year. Guaranteed.
Yeah, it will.
Guaranteed.
But the cutoff now is November 19th for this year. And they, so.
And then all the other smaller titles from Xbox. Scorn, Bright Memory Infinite.
We know Elden Ring is going to get nominated. Elden Ring, Dying Light.
Elden Ring. Yeah.
Dying Light 2 will probably get in there. God of War.
Chat, let us know what your thoughts are on all that good stuff. But the 20-year celebration was cool. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I do have to mention during the Halo music that the white motherfucker with the didgeridoo and the underwear on the stage.
Oh my God.
I was dying. Megan, when you saw this, did you fucking die? Because I was like, what the hell? Does this dude know that?
I did. Because I was looking down to check out my phone, and I was just looking, and I'm like, making sure that Halo was, and then I heard a horn. I have to go with the song. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking and I'm seeing this Aborigine-looking guy. I don't know what the hell you call them people.
Looked like his name was Chuck and he worked at Target, but they're like, put on a
No,
skirt and get some paint.
It was like, man, this dude. But you know what? Once they put
Yeah,
it
he
all
went
together,
off.
it was slapping when he got up. But when he
Look,
first
I made
did
fun
the
of the Sony
song,
flute
I was
guy. I
like,
gotta
no,
make
no,
fun
no,
of the
no.
naked dude
Right,
surrounded by
no.
people in suits and shit.
Yeah, you gotta keep that consistency because at first I was like, oh, look,
You did better.
yeah,
Oh,
because you know when you hear the Halo song, that is going to be in the archives when all of us are dead and gone and we're ash. That song, that Halo song, is going to be there.
Naked flute guy will live on forever.
Yep.
Right. So when you hear something that doesn't go with the Halo song, it's like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute, because that made me look up, and then I seen this dude in all the white paint and
With no
like,
pants.
yeah. I was like, what the hell? But yeah,
I was
it
in a
crazy, man.
party.
It was
I
wild.
was in a party with Lethal
That's wild.
Papa, and then we're kind of quiet, listening. And then that guy came up, and Lethal was like, "What the fuck?"
Lethal's like, I'm recording this. Ah, yeah.
I heard zip.
Oh God!
You
Shout
know
out to
what?
Lethal Papa, boss moderators of the RDX chat, and all the other moderators doing work today. You guys are awesome, and obviously, shout out to almost 1,300 people watching this live, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't. Maybe tell a buddy or two. We do appreciate it. We're gonna move forward a little bit, but we had to bring up the naked guy in the symphony.
I just wanted to mention about that show though, real quick. I enjoyed the show a lot. Especially because as a content creator, sometimes I try to make some like these mini doc style videos at times. I've done it in the past. And I love those types of like little documentaries where it shows you behind the scenes and, how Xbox started and all this stuff. And it was really cool to see all that. And I really appreciated them showcasing this. And, I like that kind of stuff because it brings back so many memories and stuff. You see a lot of stuff that was going on back then, and you relate it to your life, what you were doing, or the position you were in. And there was stuff that was going out all over the internet, Twitter and everything. They had, there was other companies and stuff that had videos about Xbox and just like really good stuff that really brought a lot of emotion, honestly, to this old man. Because at the time I was going through a lot of depression and stuff, and Xbox, some people may not know this, but I've told this on other shows. When the Xbox dropped, the OG Xbox, I wasn't playing games for a while. It was like, almost a year. I was depressed. The Xbox and Halo Combat Evolved brought me back pretty much. Like that game it holds a special place in my heart because of the situation I was going through and just that I didn't even want to play games, but the Xbox came out. I bought it just like whatever. And because I always bought video game consoles, no matter what. And then Halo Combat Evolved, that music, that startup music alone, I was starting to feel it. I was like, oh my gosh. Played through that game and I was back into playing games. I was back having fun again.
You know what? I got to co-sign that for a second. I'm sorry, just real quick. I know that I'm sorry, but I just want to touch because I feel that because me and Fonz is not that far in age.
No.
And so so we're old farts. But that's the thing to me is where, at that time I was just like him. I wasn't working. I'm a single father. I'm grinding. I got to take care of business. And
time to play some games.
right, like and so I'm taking care of the business, and then and after the Dreamcast, I was kind of in a somber mood, like so, and I wasn't on the PlayStation as much, and then all of a sudden, then my homeboy came and told me about Halo, and that changed everything. And then when I introduced that to my son, at that time he was only like 5 years old, and those moments with that particular game and just with everything at that time just made everything feel better. Even when I had to go through the grind of taking care of responsibilities, it just made things seem easier. So that's when I became the Xbox guy, and PlayStation became the secondary console for me.
It's an outlet, man. Yeah. It is an outlet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That whole it just set a mood for me. Like I'm not gonna get into all the details, but in that part of my life, I also was going through a transition. I was changing lifestyles. Let's just say. And
was that you in GameStop? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's a good name.
So you stumbled on the Xbox and you said, "Look,
Yeah, no, so that in that part of my life, the Xbox really consumed a lot of my time, which was for the better. And I just have really fond memories from that time. And I don't know, just that whole video reel that they played and just the whole presentation, it really brought me truly back to that time. And like I said, just running around yesterday, lining up to get the console and stuff, like it just brought that feeling. And if you were an Xbox gamer from the start, then I don't need to explain it. You're feeling the exact same thing.
Just the fact that when Halo Combat Evolved came out, there was nothing like it. There was absolutely nothing like Halo. Yep. Halo was a phenomenon onto its own. It was a game that everybody was freaking playing. Like, if you were a gamer, you were playing Halo Combat Evolved. It was that amazing. It was just, I never played a first-person shooter like that. Like, it was just so freaking good.
I would come home from football practice and I would jump on Halo, which I only stumbled onto because my friend at the time had an Xbox.
Did this kid just say football practice?
Yeah. And I only stumbled on the Xbox because of my buddy who lived down the road, right? And I played Halo for the first time. And one of the first memories I have of Xbox is the flood in Halo 1. That first time with the face huggers are running after you. What are those called? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You shoot them and they pop. And it was kind of eerie. And I like that about Halo. It was really cool. And I mean, that was enough to make me get an Xbox. And the fact that I could listen to whatever I wanted in the background. And in some games, right? You could load games on the hard drive, stuff like that. It was really, really cool, really different. And I was definitely a big fan of the first box as a result.
Yeah, for me it was definitely Halo. Me and my buddies would play all the time, and then like on that beach where co-op, we would just kill each other for hours and throw grenades and then stack grenades. Dude, we would just do that for the longest time. And then the thing that, because I've always played games even before Xbox, I've never stopped. Like that was just me. Like I just always went through it. But the game that got me to be like, holy shit, on the Xbox was like the Elder Scrolls 3 and then Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That's where I was like, oh my God, gaming's never going to get better than this. Like, look at this. It's just realistic. And
Donnie says they're called Flood Spores, by the way, Zachary. So does Alvin.
The flood thing was epic, dude. The flood thing was epic. Like when you hear the music, you're like, yo, it's kind of creepy. What's going on?
Right.
Those little things are chasing you. You're like, what the fuck is that? You're like running away like a little bitch. And like, oh God.
Yeah, and the music, man. The music was eerie.
The music.
A lot of people are forgetting too that back in that time there was no shooter. There was nothing like it. There was nothing that, like, we're spoiled now with Call of Duty and all these different games. We're spoiled now. Back then there was nothing like that. This was like some revolutionary shit that you were just like oohing and awing, and like 12 hours later you're like, oh my God, I gotta go to sleep. Like it was it was something else, man.
Yeah. Back when there was no responsibilities. So nice.
The music, the gameplay, everything. It had everything going for it. And everybody, like I said, everybody played it, man. Everybody was into Halo. Like that was the jam back then.
Fun fact, Gearbox were paid $1 million to port Halo Combat Evolved to PC later on.
Yeah. That's why I'm really excited about the I'm going to watch the hell out of that documentary that they're going to have.
Oh yeah, me too, man.
That's going to be so interesting.
And then going forward. And then moving forward, like, when they dropped Morrowind, that freaking game took me away. Like, that's when I knew, like, Bethesda was just incredible. Like, that game right there started it all on console for, that was their first game on an Xbox, on a console, period. And that was just amazing, that whole experience. And, man, I just have so many fond memories of the OG Xbox Live. Being a beta tester on there, talking to people from, all over the United States and stuff, and just going, wow, where are you from? New York? Oh my God.
Getting called a bitch from across the country.
It was crazy.
He didn't care who we were playing with. And then, of course you could play with people from other countries, and those people, were talking other languages, and it was just amazing. Like, Just
And
man, there's so many good memories with the with
and the
Xbox.
thing with
history
Halo,
was
the
so
thing with
special.
Halo was that it also pushed like competitive gaming. Like Counter-Strike was like the big it thing back in 2000 when it released. And then Halo came out a year later and just like revamped everything, like esports, all the shit we see. Like Counter-Strike and Halo were the ones pushing that. Like that was a big thing that Halo really brought to the forefront for Xbox, was that every time you saw like a competitive game or something, like some professional game, Xbox's controller or Xbox was right there. Halo was right there.
Until
Like, it was
Sony bought
insane.
Evo forever. Now it's fucked.
You're such a piece of shit.
Hey, I'm gonna bring up one more thing about this event. We can move forward, but while I do that, queue up a few of these super chats. I would appreciate it. That would speed things up. But I wanted to bring up the back compat games real quick. They did announce like 70 of those things at the. I mentioned this.
76.
Max Payne.
Mentioned this quite a few shows ago that they were definitely going to release more this holiday. But obviously we've been talking about the fact that they want to do this pretty much every holiday, according to our knowledge, for the foreseeable future. And Max Payne, the collection's in there, FPS boosted. Dead Space 3 and 2. Dead Space 3, if you have not played that in co-op, I still defend that piece of shit game, because the co-op in that game is the most fun I've ever had in co-op, probably. And it's so cool. And they should have made the game differently and done certain things here and there. But if you got a buddy and want to play Dead Space, 60 FPS, it's a lot of fun. Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, Colt was playing that in the party last night. There's a lot of cool ones on this list. So if you missed some, definitely check out some of your old favorites and see if those are FPS boosted.
Play Max Payne if you haven't
Max
played
Payne.
it. One of
Max
the
Payne
best
3 probably still
series.
looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, Max Payne 3 still. I love that series, man. I used to play Max Payne like so much, where me and my buddy knew where every single enemy was on every level. Like we would just like pre-fire shit like hackers. It was great on the console. I loved it.
Now you
Love that
know what else got pre-fired was Xbox deleting its own Twitter account.
Uh,
What the hell happened? Like they went from 16 million followers down to none. Where are they at now, Zucker? Are they back?
that's I think they're like at 5 or something like
Ooh.
that. That guy Stein or something just messed it up. He's like, "Yo, nobody tell Phil."
I mean,
it was just like,
they
wait,
seriously like deleted their Twitter account and haven't
They're at
followed me
17
back
mil.
yet. I'm upset.
They're
Yeah,
at
they got
17
all their. They got it all back within like 24 hours.
Yeah, haven't followed
Yeah,
me back.
they accidentally got rid of it for some reason, and then the Twitter, of course, like reinstated it, brought it back, and they had all their followers.
They need are you sure you're sure after the are you sure for those guys like that. I don't understand how the hell that happens. But if you're not following Xbox, or if you haven't checked, go and make sure you're following Xbox, this Twitter account, because I had to refollow them. So make sure you're following them. Zalker, do you have any of those queued up?
Yeah, I got Don Otaku. He says, imagine when they try to cut Starfield off of Game of the Year because they already voted November 1st. Clowns. I don't think they're going to get Starfield out of there, but next year is stacked, man. Suicide Squad, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 apparently is next year. There's a lot of competition next year, so I'm looking forward to it. KY Bob says, early Halo, the entire Fear collection now available on the new gen machines with FPS boost through back compat. The 20th anniversary celebration was awesome. Great show, you guys. Love you. So thanks, man. We also have Hargeet Shani again. He said, hypothetically, what if the PlayStation games coming next year actually don't rate that well? Sequels don't always land. Just saying, smiley face.
I see you, Hargeet.
I see him starting that shit.
Talking that shit. Call me.
Jigsaw 13 says, on the real, God of War versus Elden Ring versus Starfield is going to be interesting nominees next year.
I'm playing God of War and
agree.
Starfield.
I'm playing God of War and Starfield, exactly. I don't care too much for like
and
Elden
Horizon.
Ring,
I'm
all
gonna play Horizon as well.
I got to beat the first one, bro. I'm actually planning on doing that during like the
man.
holiday season. I haven't even played that game ever.
Fire up the PS5. Play it.
Fuck the PS5. I'm playing that on
Voltron.
Steam.
I'm playing it on Xbox.
I'm playing it with my Xbox controller.
I'm gonna stream it to my Xbox on my Chromium-based browser.
Oh,
Anyway, there's like
Ouya,
one or
bitch.
two more of these, and then I think we caught up.
I
on
don't
it on
see.
my
I don't see
Chromebook
any.
right
I don't
now.
see any more. That's the only ones I see.
Yodani, shout out to Yodani, man. He's here every single week. He says, just want to say I'm happy to see D get his Halo Xbox console. He's helped so many beat the bots. He's talking about the ones that keep scalping these damn consoles.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he says he's
Congrats,
praying
man.
his man gets a huge dub.
Hey.
RDX rules. Thank you very much, sir.
Let me just talk real quick on that. First of all, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it the way it is. The Microsoft Store is a piece of crap. They launched
Yeah.
the Xbox Series X on there. Not one human got an Xbox Series X Halo Edition. They were all bots, and all the bots were posting them all over Twitter. And out of all the sites, all of them, that was the worst. Not one human got it. And I'm sorry, Microsoft being the company that they are, being a software company, it's unacceptable that they have zero bot protection. Like other companies, they have some bot protection where, yeah,
like at least ask me if I'm a robot, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, D. They're not used to. They're not used to all these sales. Give them a break.
Yeah, honestly, for something, I'm being really honest here. For something like that, it was terrible. Not one human got it. Not one.
So how much are the bots, these greedy bots, these bastards from Skynet? What are they selling these things for?
Probably
I've seen some of them for 2,000. I've seen some of them for 1,500. Like people are just, it's just ridiculous. Listen, be patient.
I'm in the wrong business. I need to
get send me some of those links, man. I need one.
Yeah, sure. Be patient and you'll get one. Now I can say the Halo Series X, the next time it's going to launch is on the Xbox site, and I hope that they fix it. Is in about 3 weeks. I'm thinking it's going to be around the Halo release, like the campaign release, and I think that's going to probably be the last time you're going to see those consoles. You might see some pop up here and there at some retailers, but for the most part, they're gone. So if you have your eyes really set on it, you can wait for the Microsoft Store. But if you see an Xbox Series X out there, whether it be the series, the Halo edition or not, just grab it because it's going to get really bad.
Yodani says $1,400, D-Batch. I want to give a shout out to Yodani, Justy Spud. We got Sebastian. Tryhard fan, shout out to you, brother. He's here every single week, and he don't even prefer Xbox, but you might try hard. You might come around. And then we've also got Zion Williamson, of course, from the NBA again. We've got Fanged Moon. That's a pretty cool name. And then we've got, what is that? Oh, Gamerman 562. Shout out to you. Mega Bad Seed. And then GFat Jake. Shout out to you, brother. Just a few shout outs to the chat. All the guys powering the show. If you haven't considered hitting the like button, let's try to get closer to 1,000 for the end of the show. You guys power the podcast to make it one of the biggest Xbox podcasts in history, and we do appreciate that. Seriously, you make it what it is. Woo. Let's move forward, right? Because we still got some really good topics here. Halo multiplayer's out. Xbox killed its own Twitter on accident. There's some crap. I wanted to hit this one, but I wanted to do it a certain way, but I don't remember what the hell I was thinking. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, real quick, because I still want to cover Phil's interview, the exclusivity, all this good stuff. But Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, chat, let us know if you are playing it, if you're loving it, probably more accurately, if you're fucking annoyed and pissed, because they phoned this bitch in, and I was told today, again, by the same guy that told me that Battlefield was going to get delayed. And the original reason, I don't know if I've explained this on air, but the original reason was the developers wanted 6 months. They asked for 6 months, and they figured even if they got 3 weeks, or 3 months rather, the game would still be pushed to 2022. That's why I was told 2022 was when it's going to get delayed. The next day after I posted on Twitter, it was announced for November 19th. Or what day? The 15th or whatever? Whenever it came out, it was stuck to that date.
And then the 12th was the early access.
Yeah, so the 19th, and it obviously needed a little bit more time. I see why they definitely asked for some time, especially when you think about their content roadmap. But I was told by that person that Take-Two released this game because there were basically royalties that could be maintained and held by the guys that made this game, or at least those in charge, even if the company were sold. And, I'm not saying there's a lot of people that are interested in Take-Two right now. That's something I'm hearing a lot of right now. Not just Microsoft, but that would be Tencent, Amazon, and another Chinese company. What is that? NetEase, I think it's called. They do like a bunch of mobile. NetEase? Yeah, they do like a bunch of mobile stuff, and I was just told this earlier today, and that's one reason they rushed this GTA trilogy out, was because they knew that if they released it by this time, then even if they were sold, the royalties and all the stuff would still go where they wanted them to go. And I'm like, well, they half-ass shit all the time. 2K22 still don't work out right half the time. They took out All-Star Team Up 2K22 on the next-gen version. It's like fucking idiots. But, what they're saying makes sense, and I know for a fact some of these companies are looking at Take-Two, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, they're really trying to reduce the amount of shares that are out there. I think they're down to like 400 shares, and I don't know what's happening here. Something's happening with Take-Two. But at the end of the day, this whole Grand Theft Auto trilogy thing,
yes, what
it's releasing broken, like it's raining upside down and it's crashing and people are pissed, man.
I remember Colt was playing it in a party chat and he was like, man, I'm having so much fun with this. I downloaded the San Andreas and I started to play it and I was like, oh my God, what happened here? Look, does it look better than it used to?
It's hard not to.
Does it play pretty much the same? Yeah.
Yep.
Especially the shooting mechanics. It's really hard to go back to, but
Yankee.
Not even that. I've seen PC mods look way better than this. Like the characters and everything are blocky. They still
left the hot coffee stuff in there. Like they
didn't change anything.
Yeah.
All those same bugs are still there. It's like they just put like this layer of paint over it to try to make it look a little better, and that's it. And they
selling it for $60.
But I heard that this was made by Rockstar's like mobile division or something. So of course it looks like a mobile game. Like this is why. Like I don't know, man. Like
I'm almost positive it's a mobile. It's like a mobile port to like.
Yeah,
like
I think it's
the last one that was on console was a cell phone version as well.
Right.
Yeah,
I got to give a big shout out to my girl D from the GRG podcast. She is huge in the Grand Theft Auto, and she called that out as a concern like 2 months before when it first got announced. And then she was like, I hope that they won't do the mobile version because from what we're seeing right now for how that they do things, that's what they did. And she was absolutely right. So, I mean, if you want to go back to GRG, shameless plug. This past week, she talked all about that. Yeah,
I said the same thing back then too. I was like, "This is going to be like the mobile ports. It's going to look like a mobile game," and sure enough, it did.
Yeah, they didn't remake it; they just up-resed it and added some hands that weren't blocks. I mean,
the hands still were kind of blocky. I did a live stream. I didn't watch anybody's video. I did a live stream just to give like my reaction in real time, and yeah, those like. Okay, the environments, sure, they're upgraded a bit where it's not so bad in the cars and stuff, but as soon as you start to look at the character models, it just takes you out of the whole experience. And Fonz is right. If you see the mods on the PC, they look a million times better. They're a much better looking version of the game. I don't know how the modders can do a better job than the actual developers. That's pretty sad.
Let's say like it's okay. Let's say it's okay, right? We just up-resed it. We wanted to re-upgrade it and kind of update it. And if you want to buy it, you can buy it. That's one thing, right? But don't then have a broken ass fucking piece of shit port of this up-res remaster, quote unquote, or whatever it is. This update.
The biggest problem I have with it is that they took away the originals, and so that the modding community can't even use their mods and play the original games. Like, what was the point of removing those? The whole point is they want you to play this one. They want you to buy this one, and they're daring. And they don't want modders to mess with this one.
Not surprising from Strauss.
I'm not even playing it. Like I don't give a shit. Like,
I didn't even bother downloading it.
I didn't even download it. Even the Game Pass one. I think what's on Game Pass? San
Andreas.
Yeah, San Andreas is on Game Pass, and I saw it, and I was like, actually, I'm not going to click it. I was like, fuck. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not even giving you that.
The rain in it is so horrible. It's worse than the old rain in it. Like you can't even see what's going on with all that rain. Like it's just like these white lines coming down the screen. It's horrible.
That's fire.
When you said the rain, like it looks like it wasn't raining like down, it was raining up. It made me think of like Forrest Gump when he was like, "There's all kind of rain." It looked like it was raining from the ground up.
My magic legs.
And he's putting his hands out.
Shogun said the mods still work. Okay, but yeah,
why are you just making shit up, Fonz?
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, why can't they do what these modders do? Like put in some work.
So what led you to believe that the mods didn't work? Were they complaining about it? Is it harder to implement? Like
no. Some people were saying because they removed the original trilogy that the mods and stuff wouldn't work.
Oh, that means they had to redo the mods.
Yeah,
I see where the confusion would come in. But again, chat, let us know your thoughts. Have you played it? And of course, I took a big pass on that one. What I did not pass on was Fight Night. Oh, yeah, hang on. I wanted to talk about something. Lethal retweeted something about a podcast, and they were talking about Xbox content creators and YouTubers and people that wouldn't be honest with Xbox because they're afraid to lose their status. Okay? There is no more blunt and direct and not vulgar, but I don't give a fuck what no one says or what they think. They speak your mind, right? And I like to think we're up there when it comes to who cares if no executive ever comes on the show again. We don't base that stuff on there, and they still show up because, for one, they enjoy the show. Secondly, they love the feedback, whether you believe it or not. I talk to these people about some of this stuff, and I think part of what makes a podcast go is the chemistry and be yourself and be real. And something that we've done routinely is check Microsoft on their mistakes and help create, along with you in the chat, the Microsoft that you have now, the ones that are giving you the best hardware, the ones that are giving you all the software and the acquisitions and the studios we've asked for, the ones that went back on that doubling of Xbox Live price during a fucking pandemic, one of the dumbest oversights I've ever heard of, which we crushed and still do make jokes about this. The ones that somehow let CloudGym be acquired in the middle of making Crackdown 3's a multiplayer and completely ruining that. There are so many things that we take shots at.
Halo when they showed it.
Yeah, when they showed Halo, I mean,
and then they do delay it and basically reiterate everything we criticized on this show
in their notes, right? Their public notes. So it's one of those things where we go out of our way to be critical, but in a way that doesn't hurt because that shit gets old. But make our voices and opinions very clear, and we do make jokes and we have fun because it's gaming. But for guys to come out and on these fucking shows, of course, they're hating and act like Xbox YouTubers and content creators, people like myself, K-Mega, Zalker, are not going to tell the truth about a game because it says Xbox on it. Fuck you. That's my opinion. And I think it's proven in the reviews. I think it's proven in the podcast. I think it's proven on Twitter. Yep. And I think it's proven itself for years. And I think that's why there's so many people that are here. So, it's not hard to figure out. Try to discredit others because you don't get shit or because you've never figured shit out. It's common sense. Make good quality content. Stay consistent. And at the end of the day, when you've got such dumb takes like Microsoft YouTubers or influencers are not, I hate that fucking word, influencers, guys that fucking like the brand and make content around it are not going to be truthful because we're afraid of getting shit taken. I've proven that that's not the case. And I'll prove it again in a few days. That's not saying anything.
In hard on Halo last year? I mean,
we definitely did, and I don't want to reiterate it. I don't want to reiterate it now because I want to get through the show. But I just wanted to point that out.
This dumb shit is just getting out of hand. I mean, you can look at anything. Like the person that did say that actually, named a lot of people on this podcast, including myself. And I literally brought out a video reviewing the Series X, actually criticizing how ray tracing on developers isn't going well. Like they need to do something about that and work on it. And Xbox.
Well, anybody that watches knows.
Anybody that watches us and listens to us knows that we criticize it. And the only thing is the people that are saying that are just jealous.
You know what it is they were saying a lot of this because Horizon 5 has come out and does nearly everything perfect. I really can't think of many negatives. I really can't. I couldn't, especially at the review time. I couldn't think of any real negative where I'm like, it takes away from the score.
Turn 10 are Xbox hardware gods.
I'm just saying that the game was so good and they were mad because people got review copies and they didn't get anything, obviously, because you sit on Twitter and bitch and say dumb shit all day, I guess. That because we gave it 9s that we're afraid to say bad. This ain't the one to fucking say that with. It is legitimately every bit of a 92, 94. Like it really is.
Let me address this too as well, dealer. Because I mean, my channel is not nowhere near as big as this platform here, but the point of the matter is that no, I didn't get a free copy, but I'm not going to. And listen, I get it from where some people's standpoint because I have listeners that says, "Well, I see, you've been out here just as long as everybody else," and it's it is what it is.
It's not about how long you're out there, though, right?
It's not. And what these people want to do is that they want to get there, and this is even on PlayStation's end. They want to get their stuff out, and they want to get it out to people who have a larger audience because that larger audience pushes out even further because the more people talk about it, the more that it makes them talk about that particular game or whatever.
It's advertising.
For me, it's advertising. That's the new version of advertising. For me, I don't trip out about it because I do get free copies of certain games every once in a while, and I'm grateful for it. But and then for other things, there's listeners that's been a part that's listened to GRG for a long time, and they've hooked me up with some games and things. So God bless them. But I'm not mad about other people's success. That's the one thing about where you can't be from any other entity out there, from this with PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just work better on your craft and get your weight up. That's all. That's how I look at it. Then, just get your weight up. I mean, that's it. I'm never going to be mad at anybody else's success. The thing that I look at is that
it's hypocrisy, because half of these dudes gave Sea of Thieves game of the generation, and now they're saying that. Fucking blows my mind.
There's been so many people out there that see there'll be the same people that will come after you guys or anybody else. They go after Kid Smooth. They go after the Iron Lords. They go after so many other people out there. Oh, well, this, that, this. But then they're over here spitting out all this rhetoric and lies, and they still keep their audience and they benefit, but yet you can't talk about that because they've been advertising nothing but propaganda for years, and it's stuck because Xbox One was in a bad position. It's not sticking anymore.
Yeah.
But you would think that those people would be leaving, but they don't. And so therefore you should think, well, you guys have been caught in so many lies. Your narratives has all failed. You guys have been caught in so many failures. But yet you still keep your audience. You don't see me making no videos and sitting here saying, well, people need to leave. That's good. Kudos to you. So leave these other people out here alone.
I think we're giving them entirely too much time, though.
I agree.
Like, these people are just, they're going to do what they do. They're not going to grow. They're not going to do anything. They're going to stay where they're at because they choose.
Because
to do what
people
they do.
see through people. Give people more credit. People in this chat, other chats in general, give them more credit. They're not stupid, and they see through your bullshit. They see you spreading bullshit about Microsoft all day, and then have the fucking balls to say that other people are shills. Like, I'm throwing up on my TV right now. We got to move forward.
They play Twitter more than they play games.
Just keep
I got 1,000 G Twitter, bitch.
Let it go. And besides that, you got the great mighty Tim Dog on your team, man. How y'all gonna lose?
Tim Dog is here. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm here. I'm just.
Well, Tim, Splendiferous says Xbox still making money on back compat games, which is true. You can now sell those games on the store, and people have more incentive thanks to free performance. So that's a risk. That's a cause and effect. Lord Starkiller again. He says a new Starfield for Take-Two. Wait, did I read that right? A new standard for Take-Two, remastered piece of shit from the cell phone version. Wow. What the fuck? Come on, Take-Two, give us proper remastered Grand Theft Auto trilogy, and that's a game that would be worth every single dime that they spend on a remaster like that. Yo, Donnie, shout out to him. He says, just want to say I'm happy to see D get his. I already read that one. He's still happy for you, D, for getting your Halo Xbox, by the way.
Thanks, man.
But hey, shout out to everyone here, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, maybe tell a buddy to as we move forward and kind of get closer to some more interesting topics that I give a shit about. Fight Night, by the way. I know you guys saw my tweet. Remember when EA made this game? Because I knew that shit was going to leak. 8 hours later, it leaks that they're making another Fight Night game, and codename Moneyball. And apparently the UFC, the next one coming out, is the thing got put on hold for, whatever, but EA released a Fight Night game. The demand is much higher than you think it is, and if it's quality and you don't fuck it up, and you give it the time it needs, to make it every bit of what Champion is and more, it will be a fucking success. That's just the bottom line. Bill Spencer, his new interview. Now, I want you to lead on this one. He does talk about Elder Scrolls exclusivity and much more, and this one was a nice little people's elbow to a lot of dudes on Twitter talking about Elder Scrolls. Remember we used to have the debate about where these games are going and why they would go here and where and what and where. And finally, these guys are getting scoped by Phil Spencer. He just sniped him in the forehead.
The funny thing is that, like, wasn't it like when they bought Bethesda, everybody was like, oh yeah, Elder Scrolls is definitely going to be multi-plat, guaranteed it. And it's like, nope, it's not. Sorry, Phil. And the funny thing is that he even says it. He's like, it's not because we're trying to punish anybody. He's like, we're trying to leverage everything that Xbox has. And he was brutally honest. He said we had 5 studios at one point. He's like, that was not our strong suit until we had to change that. And we only had, basically, he even called it, he's like, Gears, Halo, and Forza as franchises. Now they have a freaking, what he would say, like, is an amazing amount of franchises because of Bethesda and all the other studios they got, which, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Starfield's about to be one, Redfall, all these other basically massive franchises that they want to utilize so people come to the Xbox platform. You don't fucking say, people. Like, it's common sense. They're
so
going
what did
to
he
make
say
Elder
about
Scrolls
Elder Scrolls specifically? Like, He said, "Fuck y'all, it's on Xbox," quote unquote.
Basically, like, yeah, it's Xbox only. Like, it's going to be PC and Xbox only. That's all it's going to be. Sorry, that's not coming to PlayStation. And he could tell he didn't give a shit. It's like, it's not to punish anybody, but come play over here.
They definitely released that on the same day as the event for a reason, right? It's kind of got it was out there, and then not much focus on it, and boom, something we already knew. Congrats.
We got a special guest in the house.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Phil.
Why'd you take his mic? Makes sense. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Why are you rude?
Hey, Tim Dog, I ain't heard from you in a minute. I want your perspective on this Phil interview and Skyrim and all this stuff going on.
Yeah, I ain't talked to Phil since E3, man. Come on, man. Let me get a chance to talk to him again.
Nah, he's gone.
Tim Dog, what's your take on this interview he just did?
I think he's just laying down the law, and I really kind of like the way he answered the question. He's not trying to take it away from Sony guys, but there is a bunch of ways that you could play games like Elder Scrolls if you really wanted to. You could do it on the cloud. There's just many ways to do it. But yeah, I kind of felt like it was a good interview, solid interview, and I think that they have, they have a big plan for exclusive, well, whatever you want to call it, just video games in general. Xbox is going to have a ton of stuff coming, and he also says that he's not done buying either. So obviously we know where this is headed.
Damn, he's flexing.
But yeah, he is. I mean, I feel like just as a whole, Xbox is flexing right now, and it's deserved. They deserve to do it. And there were times where they were so questioned, but like, again, as I go back, I just feel like this is kind of a real positive time, and they had to do it too. I really believe if they didn't make their, if they kind of toyed with exclusivity with this whole thing, it would have just,
they got to make a statement, right? They got to get the point across. You need an Xbox. You need something with Game Pass. You need to be in their ecosystem to play their shit, and this is how they prove it.
Right, and he also said stuff that we talk about all week, and people, we set the law. Game Pass is sustainable, and it's very sustainable for them, and they're making a lot of money now. And he really perfectly, shot down all those claims. I mean, when you have people saying that Xbox Game Pass is doing bad because it's a year-over-year 2%, it's only 2%. Meanwhile, the previous year was a pandemic was started, and massive influx of gamers went on. And as we talked about, there is a time when that dollar thing runs out, and guess what? That during that time, those deals were starting to expire, and people were going directly onto the $14 to $15 a month prepay each month.
I'm actually surprised it was positive 2%, Tim, because I mean, during the pandemic, everything it fast forwarded time years. With digital and how things are working and how people get to work or how they do work. And for them to still be up 2% after everything's coming back down quite a bit across the board, since people are getting out and doing things again, it's kind of impressive.
It is impressive. And the funny thing is, when he talks about sustainability, when he's like, yeah, Game Pass right now is sustainable, the way I look at it, I don't think he's just talking about like keeping Game Pass up. I'm thinking he's talking about the acquisitions for studios. That's all money that's aimed for Game Pass to get more content, all the exclusive deals they sign. So the money that they're pushing onto Game Pass, they're sustaining that, and if not making a profit off of it. So it's like all this money, the billions of dollars we've seen go into first party, into the games, into the exclusives, is all sustainable because of just Game Pass. And they've said, they didn't say, exclusives. That's something he didn't say. He said franchises. Like, they're trying to build Xbox into something more than just what it is. Like, people are saying, like, you need more than just exclusives now. That's what's happening, is you need franchises, games that actually resonate with people, things that come out and take over, like what Halo's doing, like what God of War did, to be quite honest. Like, all those games are massive games with a lot of franchise and a lot of playability, right? Like, Last of Us is becoming a show. Halo is a show now. Like, this is bigger than just gaming. This is big. Like, that's what Xbox is aiming for. So I think people need to like take a step back and understand what he's talking about, and seeing that the stuff for just gaming isn't the end of it. Like, we're going to see franchises everywhere in all forms of media, and Xbox is going to be at the center of it, and so are their franchises. Like, it's insane to think that gaming is expanding so much. Like, the Arcane show on Netflix is fucking awesome. Like, it's an animated show, but it's so high quality. Like, it's insane of how good it is, and how Riot Games is like doing so many different things. How Sony's doing this, Xbox is doing it. Like, I don't know, man. People just need to understand what's going on and see that this shit is more than sustainable. And they even talked about that Game Pass isn't their only thing. Like, Sarah Bond and Phil said that Game Pass is great. It's one of our main things we want to grow, but it's not the only thing we want to see grow in Xbox.
No.
And shout out to, and why you said Sarah Bond, shout out to Sarah Bond looking fly. You know what I'm saying? With the
Stop
white
hitting on that
kicks and the
lady.
black dress.
Yeah, bro. K-Mega, what are you doing, bro?
We can all agree that last outfit wasn't the best choice, Megan. Now, don't you lie now.
I got to meet Sarah Bond at E3, man. You know what I'm saying? When she was out there and she was talking about how nervous she was, but man, shout out to her, shout out to Kiki Wolfkill, shout out to Shannon Loftus, shout out to everybody out there at at E3, man. But
how come no guys get shout outs, K-Mega?
Kareem Tawtrey, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Matt Booty. I mean, like,
there we go. Yeah, everybody.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, seriously though, I want to kind of, any final thoughts on this last topic, and we can do some outros. And again, shout out to that fantastic chat. I think we got one of the best chats in the history of everything in the universe. And of course, that does include past and present. If you guys haven't, hit the like button, subscribe, all the good stuff. Follow everybody here. We're going to give you the information here in a minute. But lots of good topics today, lots of good fun. Go ahead,
One other thing he talked about was retiring.
Yeah.
He brought up retiring. Phil Spencer brought up about Microsoft saying we want a succession plan because we want Xbox to last far longer than you're going to be here. And he, for the first time, kind of talked about that and said, like, yeah, I got less years ahead of me than I do, or more years behind me than I do ahead of me.
That's the first time. He's been talking about that for months now.
Yeah, it's insane that he's like, kind of saying
I
that.
talked about that a couple months ago, his retirement and their plans to, what they got going on behind that. So that's something that I'm sure they will have. Who is the who would be taking over his spot?
I think it's Sarah Bond.
It's Sarah
I'd
Bond.
like to see Sarah.
Yeah. Sarah.
Really?
I mean, because I think Aaron, I love Sarah. You know what I'm saying?
Who's Sarah's
Aaron
boss?
Greenberg, he's out there. I don't know.
All the partnerships with Sega and all the stuff that they've done with the publishing and all the third party stuff that's going, and that's all her. So
we haven't seen anything from that yet. And I'm going to judge it when it comes out.
You've seen Game Pass.
I mean, Game Pass has been on fire since before any of this.
Oh, Warhammer Total War 3, Warhammer Total War 3.
Yeah, no, I disagree, dealer. Because
Game Pass has been on fire ever since they announced it. It was fire. It was fire. We knew that their first party was going in there. We knew when those games hit, they were going to hit day and date.
I get that, but I'm just saying, because listen, the only person that I think that would be the step above her, at this point, because I think all of the old guard is going to get ready to go. I think, you know what I'm saying, not only Phil, but then you look at Aaron Greenberg. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Aaron Greenberg wearing the green Jordans like that. That was really fresh at E3. But the thing that I'm saying too is, who else is left unless you bring back Mikey Barr? Because Mikey Barr,
I know.
Mikey Barr said Blizzard with a fire extinguisher.
Don't you guys already see that they're putting her more on stage and stuff? I see a little bit of grooming going on there. I do think that she's possibly going to be the one to take over next. And let's be honest, Phil Spencer, he's leaving behind whoever they leave, to this job to. They're going to be in such a good place with Xbox.
Yeah. Well, let me read a few.
They better not.
Booty would be good too, though.
They better not fuck it up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I want somebody that's still going to focus on the big AAA stuff, and that's going to just let these guys build the games they want to build. But I'm sure we have no reason to think anything other than they would continue to do that stuff. Nano Polymath,
great.
Nano Polymath, by the way, I guess he's talking about when I was going on about these little turds that are accusing people of being dishonest because they get things for review from Microsoft. He does say, I preach that shit for the crap seats in the back. RDX is the realest podcast on the internet, on the planet. He says the thumb counts may be hidden, but we know forgot about that. But we know the truth and who the frauds are with the most thumbs down. Did they already hide the thumbs down on YouTube?
It's coming this week, I think.
No, it's right here right now. I just clicked it on your shit.
Oh, thanks. Well, I mean, we'll know. We won't be able to see how many thousands of dislikes Scrap Gamer gets anymore, but that's who Nano's talking about. We'll definitely know who has the most thumbs down. And I don't like that. I like YouTube to let these people see that stuff. But hey, I just think they've dug their own hole and been fake humans, and that's why they get what they sow there. But whatever. So Indifferent says, tell Tim to let me get some of that. He's smoking. And then we've got Don Otaku Star Dealer, but Fight Night cannot succeed unless Jake and Logan Paul are on the cover of the game. Stop it.
If they put that on the game, I'm not buying it.
He said it's the only way. He's trolling.
Hey, hold on. I heard something last night that one of those Pauls was going to try to fight Mike Tyson?
I wouldn't, dude, the payouts apparently that these turds are getting. Floyd Mayweather did it. I
know, but then you've seen what happened. Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? He still got knockout power, and he held up, dude. Like man, don't be.
It's like a 40-pound weight difference, though.
Right, yeah, right. But it didn't matter. He knocked out Paul, and you remember, you just go back and look at it. He held up Paul, like, man, don't be fucking up my money. Let's just go ahead and stand up. Let me get you right, and then now we're gonna keep playing so we can get this money. Mike Tyson is not going to come out there. I'm going to eat the kid of both.
It's your spoodle. Hey, you remember when he lost that fight? He lost that fight, and he's like, I had a broken back, and my back was broken. He's like, what part? He's like, spinal.
Right. Like, Tyson is not, like, especially, listen, only thing that I can see, if this is true, I bet you the level of trying to be an asshole to Mike Tyson like old dude did with Floyd is not going to be on the same level, because you do not want Mike Tyson, I don't care, in his 50s, because he could have killed Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones was running that whole fight. So no, you don't, man. None of them Pauls want none of that work. I understand that one of them are really, really good at fighting.
It's about money, though. That's the thing. They don't care if they're going to lose. It's going to get millions of dollars.
I'm not about Mike Tyson either, but I ain't coming out there talking shit or trying to clown. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to eat the fat ass. I'm going to eat the I'm going to eat the
Oh, shit.
I don't want none of that. So shout out to that.
Well,
I will definitely buy that fight if he's fighting one of the Pauls just to see that onslaught.
Well,
he would destroy him. Whoever.
Definitely. I mean, hey, again, it's just about the money, and I'm sure Tyson would take the fight. But anyway, Hargy does say the ponies have no ground to stand on. They're fine paying $70 for PlayStation exclusives, but not $25 a month to get a Series S with Game Pass. He says you got mini games in Game Pass that you actually really save money with Game Pass is basically the point. And you know what's well said. There's also PlayStation Now that they're perfectly fine with. They'll pay for that. There's millions of PlayStation Now guys, but they hate Game Pass because it actually gives you more value. It makes no sense. It's a double standard, and you see them slowly but surely turning, and I like that. So let us know your thoughts, chat, as we do close out the topic in the show. We do appreciate you. Thanks for showing up. Hit the like button if you haven't. Maybe subscribe. Be sure to stick around for these outros. Support these guys. And again, I will have a video out Thursday, and that's going to be fun. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments in the chat about all the topics. If you missed them, check out the replay. D-Batch, what have you been playing, brother, and where can people find you?
I just started up Halo. I didn't get a chance to really play it yesterday, so I started up Halo. Of course, I'm playing Forza, and when I get off the podcast, I'm going to be playing Halo again. You guys can find me on Twitter at D_batch. Of course, on YouTube at D-Batch. I should have some content up this week. I did an unboxing of the Halo Infinite and all the gear that I got, but I don't know if I'm going to really release it, because like, how many unboxings do you guys really need to see? But I'll have some content out later this week. Was a great show. It's a great time to be an Xbox gamer. Get on Halo, man, and Forza and play these games and have a good time. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for K-Mega for stopping by, and of course the rest of the panel. I'll see you next week.
Big shout out to Yadani, says y'all in RDX chat down bad. No shame in the game. I'm not really sure what that means. What does that mean?
They're talking about Sarabon.
Oh, no, we're not down on Sarah Bond at all. I'm asking questions like, hey, who's her boss?
They're not talking about that either. They're talking about something else.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm multitasking here. Always multitasking. But hey, again, shout out to almost 1,300 people that joined us tonight. Fonz, what have you been playing, brother, and where can people find you?
They can find me at Fonz World of Gaming right here on YouTube, and I've been playing Halo Infinite, the multiplayer, and also tried a little bit of Battlefield today. I've played it before when they had the beta, but trying that first 10 hours or, that you can play. Yeah, I'm liking the game so far. It's pretty good, but Halo is really where it's at right now, to be honest. Yeah, so I'll be playing that.
Make sure you didn't download the Xbox One version of Battlefield. Chris Cornell downloaded it.
Yeah, I got the X version for
He
sure.
downloaded it while we were in a party. He's like, whoa, his buildings look like shit. And I'm like, make sure it's not the Xbox One version. And it was. So
Yeah,
make sure you have the right
people
version of Battlefield installed, guys.
That is an issue. Some people were downloading it and they were having problems, not only with the graphics, but also with frame rates and stuff. Yeah, people were complaining. But anyway, yeah, follow me at Fonz World of Gaming. And yeah, that's it.
We've also got xCloud. Tim Dog, brother, what have you been playing and where can people find you?
I've been playing the big games, Forza, and I played Halo last night, and both are really good. One thing about Halo I have to say is the fast fluidity gameplay, and just everything the way it is. It's super fun, even for a player that is not really great. It's even fun for me because a lot of it's teamwork, especially in arena and stuff like that. So I just have to say that they nailed it with Halo. It seems like, and obviously with Forza Horizon, they just did everything right with that game. But it seems like Halo is back, and I'm glad I'm here to be a part of it.
Hell yeah. And a lot of good stuff to come as well. Zalker, brother, what have you been playing and where can people find you?
You know me, man. You guys can find me on Twitter, Zalker87, on YouTube, Zalker87, and I've also been playing a lot of Battlefield 2042 over the weekend. I had a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a great game, and I was enjoying it. I enjoyed the big maps. The one Snow Arctic map is one of the most beautiful things I've seen in like a shooter. I loved it. Then Halo dropped on Monday, and I was like, fuck everything, and just started playing that a lot with people and buddies and everybody, like cousins, like family members were playing it. We were all getting together and playing it. I was like just going crazy, and yeah, Halo's kind of taking over everything, and I'm kind of, so I was about to jump back into Guardians, right, of the Galaxy, and then Halo dropped, and I was like, shit. So I've just been playing a lot of Halo, and yeah, so chat, thanks for coming on, guys. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. As for people that were talking about Warhammer Total War in the chat, Warhammer Total War 3 drops February 17th, and it is on Game Pass, PC, day and date, because people are like, is it coming next year? Yes, it is in February. So
All over.
I'm all over that, man. Strategy games I love them. Probably one of my favorite genres, if not my favorite. So if you haven't played Total War, Warhammer, everybody needs to check that out. It is one of the best RTSs to come out in a long time. There you go.
Well, we've also got K Mega from GRG, brother. Thanks for coming on. It's good having you on as a guest, as always. What have you been playing, and where can people find you?
Man, I was on I was hoping to, and I did. I beat Far Cry 6 before Forza came out, Forza Horizon 5, and I will say that Far Cry 6 is a really good quality game, man. So for anybody out there that's on the fence, I would definitely recommend it to play it. There's just so much out there. You know what? I was so hyped for Back 4 Blood, and unfortunately, I have not given a lot of time with it. So if anybody out there that plays Back 4 Blood and want to come in and try to play it, please hit me up at KMega405 on Xbox. I will definitely be down to play.
It's a long game, bro. It's a long game. I beat that whole thing. I beat that whole thing. It's great. Yeah,
really. I've been stoked about it because I'm a Left 4 Dead fan, but there's been so many good quality games out there. So other than that, but I'm just kind of like with everybody else on the panel, man. I once Forza dropped, it was life. I got it. I got the premium, and I was all over it. I'm pretty sure I got like over 2 days. My level is I had to stop playing because it was just I was too addicted. I was over. I'm like
They don't like that word
11.
addicted now.
Yeah, I was addicted, man. I was addicted. I couldn't stop playing, man. So I had to calm down. So I'm like 111, 110 to 111. I played some Battlefield. I do have to agree with Zonka 100% because the snow stage is so beautiful, and then seeing the chips of the ice fall. I'm like, is the wall gonna fall? Like, wow. So I'm not for anybody that's on the fence about Battlefield, I would say don't be. For you guys when the game comes out on the 18th, 19th, go ahead and go support it. I mean, because it's got enough content for you to wet your palate with. But in all actuality, the real truth of it is the Halo is here, man. This is Forza and Halo season, and that's where I'm mostly going to be at right now. I just hooked up with my boy Predator, from the next podcast. So come check us out. I'm on the next podcast with my boy Xbox 448 on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. and then also on the GRG podcast every Friday night 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Australian time is 11 a.m. GMT, I think it's 2 a.m. Come and check us out, man. We do our thing out there. We're just like here. We don't hold we hold everybody accountable. And we like to have a lot of fun because it's Friday night, and sometimes I might be on that little sauce a little bit and have a good time and say a little something that I shouldn't be. But
I might be drunk sometimes, but
I might be lit by the end of the show. I start off right, and then by the end of it, but and then I'm like, we gotta get out of here. Good night. But thank everybody, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Dealer, and thank everybody else, man, on the panel, man. It's a pleasure as always.
Of course. And again, be sure to check them out, guys. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell everybody over there to say hi, and chat. Let us know your thoughts on everything we talked about. If you haven't hit the like button, I'll say it one more time. Of course, I have been playing a ton of games, and if you haven't, I'll push my Forza review one last time. Released that probably 6 or 7 hours after embargo. We shouldn't have done that. Probably would have did a little bit better. But if you checked it out, thanks. Some of you watched it twice, and that's awesome. And I definitely look forward to doing more reviews and stuff like that. So again, those things are fun. I definitely got a video planned for this Thursday, and I've done a lot of padding in this room. You can probably tell. That's kind of the project I'm working on now. And then after this next video, I'm kind of back as usual, probably 1 to 2 videos a week. The stuff that I really, really, really enjoy doing, or I can just be stupid and tell dumb jokes and talk about everything that's happening when it comes to Microsoft, PlayStation, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed the Halo footage, let us know. It's Halo Infinite multiplayer on Series X, obviously streamed at 1080p at limited bit rate, but it still looks really damn good in my opinion. And obviously, if you haven't, check out the Patreon link, the channel memberships, all those guys. Shout out to every single one of you. You guys are absolutely phenomenal for supporting everything that we do, everything that I do. You're awesome. So we're going to go play some games, maybe eat some food so we don't die. We will see you guys next week. Shout out to Fun Speculation. I'll see you in the chat and everyone else. You guys
I got one more
awesome.
thing I got to say before I go.
Huh?
For anybody that's out there, I did forget, that this is my baby right here. I do this I stream on Twitch on Sunday nights. I call it, and it's Fight Night Sundays. And yes, Fight Night is included if people want to play Fight Night.
I want to play Fight Night Champion.
Bro, we can do that. I have no problem. But Fight Night Sundays, I stream that on Sunday nights at 8:30.
What time do you stream it? Damn, K-Mega.
Well, because it's football season. I love my Rams, even though my Rams got their ass beat by the 49ers.
Yeah, fuck the Rams.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Oh, shit.
Niners, baby. Niners.
Anyway, so
watch your fucking mouth.
I'm a little later because I watch football, Sunday Night Football, but at 9:30, 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time, I do have a stream on Twitch, and it's Fight Night Sunday. We play all different types of fighters.
There's only one real fighter, K-Mega.
Oh, no.
And it's that Fight Night Champion.
Oh, no. Killer Instinct is going to be live this coming up weekend, Sunday night. If you down and want to come into it, Dealer, if you come in anytime, and if you want to get in Fight Night, I will knock your ass out again. Now, you did more.
You might want to correct that, sir. Because I dominated you in Fight Night.
I recorded the clip. I will not. You beat me more. There's no doubt.
You didn't beat me. You didn't beat me at all.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna show that clip.
You had to. Was it a KO, a knockdown, or was it
It was a knockout. I knocked your ass out.
Oh, you knocked me down. Okay, I thought you said you won a match.
No, I knocked you out. And so then then you know what I'm saying. But Dealer is better at.
I am dominant in fight
no
night.
Doubt, no
Anybody.
Doubt. But Dealer will not play me in no Tekken 7. I guarantee.
Oh, you're right, because it ain't a good fight game.
Or Killer Instinct. So if that's
I can bash buttons and Killer Instinct and probably win.
All right. On in here. But anyway, regardless of that, come and check us out on Fight Night.
Right now?
What'd you call it?
I'm not the ass out. I took a clip. I said, listen, I'm gonna hold on.
I got 2 hours. I got 2 hours of K Mega getting dominated in boxing. I'll show it on the podcast.
No.
Hey, I also got 2 hours of us playing 2K21 together, and that was a little adventure.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute now. You know I was over here doing that work. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here passing the ball. I'm over here giving the assist. I'm over here almost getting
I had 20 assists one game, okay?
I ain't gonna lie, K-Mega, you're taking the fucking gold for the outro. You're beating Pong Soul, who took 80 hours.
You know what? Hey, man, Pong Soul. That's my brother out there, man.
Yeah, we love Pong Soul. I just wish he was alive on Xbox.
Really long. Everybody ready to go. I'm about to play some Halo. We out, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Hey, shout out to the 800 listening about K-Mega's Twitch stream and whatnot. And obviously, follow K Mega on Twitter. I tagged him in the post today.
And shout out to Fun Fact Speculation, because I think he hit me up and I missed it. But you know,
he ignored you. He ignored you, Mav. He told me, he said, "Who's this motherfucker, Mav?" I said, "Dude, reply to him right now." He said, "No."
When I seen it, he locked me out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I got you." But he had my boy Still Raining there, so I tried a couple of times. So man, you better be on your right shit, or I'm gonna have to clown. You know, what I'm saying? I don't want to go there.
Hey, calm down, K Mega. It's all peace and love. All right, it's 2021. Xbox got games. Let's all behave now.
Man. No, shout out to man,
Hey, follow me at dealer space II on for Xbox Live. I think you got about 5,000 followers on Xbox Live. I'm pretty close. So if you want to shoot me a message there, it's much easier to communicate. And believe it or not, because for one, there's voice message sending, which I actually do way faster than typing. And I just have less followers on Xbox than I do like Twitter or on YouTube. So I'm more likely to get back to you there. II space dealer space II. Follow me on Twitter at dealer_gaming. Of course, those DMs are fucked. Good luck. And let us know your thoughts once more. Subscribe, all the good stuff. Video out Thursday. And I will see you guys on the next episode of Real Deal Xbox Podcast. We are out.
Later, everybody.
Peace. Hit the button, the like button.